The Badshahi Mosque is a display of the great taste and boldness of the emperor at that time. Both the interior and exterior are very uniquely crafted. The rich embellishment in stucco tracery, manbakari, and paneling with a fresco touch enhance the interior of the mosque, and stone carvings along with marble inlay on red sandstone, especially of Lodi form motifs in bold relief, beautifies the exterior. Four octagonal three-story minarets of 196 feet are found at the four corners of the mosque that are topped by a marble canopy. When illuminated in the evening, the Badshahi Mosque offers a view that you can never miss. Especially now, when this can be experienced while enjoying some quality food in the new food street, offering a picturesque and stunning view of the mosque. As Pakistan became the top tourist destination of 2020 according to the Condé Nast Traveler, the country's only attraction isn't its astonishing mountain ranges. As the river was flowing nearby, it was constructed at an elevated platform to protect it from any kind of flooding. Historical reports have said that Emperor Aurangzeb ordered some barriers to be put in the river to keep the water away from the mosque and prevent it from the damage the intricate interior and exterior of the mosque. So, over the course of time, the river changed its path. When you visit the Badshahi Mosque, you will get to see more than just an area of prayer. The place is filled with spots, and nowadays a lot of bride and grooms too, as many people follow the religious practice of having their nikah, the contract of marriage in Islam, in the masjid. The Hazari Bagh and the mosque will provide an experience that is unforgettable. Wazir Khan Mosque is renowned for its elaborate embellishment in a style which draws from the decorative traditions from several regions. While other monuments in Lahore from the Shah Jahan period feature intricate Kashi Kari tile work, none match the enormous scale of the Wazir Khan Mosque. Unlike the contemporary Shah Jahan Mosque in Sindh, the interior walls of Wazir Khan Mosque are plastered and adorned with highly detailed buan frescoes. The interior decorative style is unique for Mughal-era mosques, as it combines imperial Mughal elements with local Punjabi decorative styles. The main prayer hall contains a square pavilion over which the mosque's largest dome rests, a Persian form known as char tak. The underside of the dome feature frescoes depicting trees in pairs, pitchers of wine, and platters of fruit, which are an allusion to the Islamic concept of paradise. The arched niche at the mosque's entrance facing Wazir Khan Chowk is richly decorated with floral motifs, and features one of Lahore's first examples of a mukarna, an architectural element found at the Alhambra in Spain, as well as on several imperial mosques in Iran. The low domes over the prayer hall reflect the style of the earlier Lodi dynasty, which ruled Lahore prior to the Mughal era. Mughal gardens were based upon Timurid gardens built in Central Asia and Iran between the 14th and 16th century. 13. A high brick wall richly decorated with intricate fretwork encloses the site in order to allow for the creation of a Sharbagh paradise garden, a microcosm of an earthly utopia. 2. The Shalimar Gardens are laid out in the form of a rectangle aligned along a north-south axis, and measure 658 meters by 258 meters, and cover an area of 16 hectares. Each terrace level is 4 to 5 meters, 13 to 15 feet, higher than the previous level. The uppermost terrace of the gardens is named Bagh-e-Farah Bash, literally meaning bestower of pleasure. The second and third terraces are jointly known as the Bagh-e-Faiz Bash, meaning bestower of goodness. The first and third terraces are both shaped as squares, while the second terrace is a narrow rectangle. Shalimar's main entrance was onto the lowermost terrace, which was open to noblemen, and occasionally to the public. 2. The middle terrace was the Emperor's Garden, and contained the most elaborate waterworks of any Mughal garden. 2. The highest terrace was reserved for the Emperor's harem. 2. The square-shaped terraces were both divided into 4 equivalent smaller squares by long fountains flanked by brick Kayaban walkways designed to be elevated in order to provide better views of the garden. 8. Cascades were made to flow over a marble paths in what are known as chadors, or curtains, into the middle terrace. Water collected into a large pool, known as a house, over which a seating pavilion was made. With the construction of the Fortress Square Mall in its immediate surroundings in 2014, and the stadium being out of use, for the most part, the premises of Fortress Stadium are now known only as Fortress to the locals. The area has become a hub of family entertainment for the locals, as the mall offers plenty of shopping opportunities at high-end brands, while kids can enjoy themselves at Joyland, Sindbad, or St. John Park, Lahore, at a walking distance from one another. The stadium itself is used for the National Horse and Cattle Show, which is a popular festival in Lahore, along with hosting cultural events, fairs, and local sporting events. The National Horse and Cattle Show displays livestock, along with spectacular displays of horsemanship, racing, folk dancing, and much more. Joyland is an amusement park with an array of fun-filled and exciting rides for all ages. While most of the rides can be enjoyed by kids, some are specifically recommended for adults due to their thrill levels. Weekend visits can result in long waiting times, but head there on a weekday and you're in for an exciting evening. Joyland Amusement Park is open between 4 p.m. and 12 a.m. daily with a single ticket giving you access to several rides. As one of the best amusement parks in Lahore, it offers rides like Drop Tower, Tagada, Discovery, Flying Carpet, and more. The Lahore Zoo has undergone significant changes since it was transferred to the Wildlife Department in 1982. These changes have included alterations in the exhibits, the layout of buildings, the landscape pattern, and the administration. As a result, the zoo has become self-sufficient, meeting all its own financial needs without relying on outside funding. Lahore Zoo is a popular attraction for families, especially during the winter and summer holidays. With its well-maintained pathways, clean and green surroundings, and a variety of refreshment stands, it's no surprise that Lahore Zoo attracts over 4.5 million visitors annually. Visitors can enjoy a fun and comfortable experience exploring the zoo and its wonderful animal inhabitants. Lahore Zoo is a family-friendly attraction that offers a variety of activities for visitors to enjoy. Horse riding, jumping castle, drawing competition, camel ride, mechanical elephant ride, face painting, guided tours and a gift shop selling souvenirs are all features of the zoo. Families can spend hours exploring and taking part in the fun activities provided by the zoo. The fort has almost 21 different buildings in it. These lying in the northern half are grouped in 4 blocks or quadrangles. Lahore Fort is the only monument in Pakistan, which represents a complete history of Mughal architecture and the eras following it. The architecture of Akbar's period in the fort is characterized mainly by using red sandstone and cut brick work. The use of animal figures such as lion, elephant, and peacock as well as sculptured gargoyle, as brackets to support the chaja of dalins, eaves of chambers, in Jahangir's quadrangle shows the Hindu elements used in the Mughal architecture of Akbar and Jahangir's period. The buildings of Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb periods provide a striking contrast with the former. The use of marble in place of red sandstone, and exuberance of the Persian motifs, pietra dura, and glazed tile mosaic work, are the chief characteristics of the buildings added by Shah Jahan, the prince architect of Southeast Asia. Bagh-e-Jinnah, formerly known as Lawrence Gardens, is a historical park in the city of Lahore, Pakistan. The large green space contains a botanical garden, Masjid Dar al-Islam, and Quaid-e-Azam Library. There are also entertainment and sports facilities within the park, an open-air theater, a restaurant, tennis courts and the Gymkhana cricket ground. It is located on Lawrence Road next to Lahore Zoo, directly across from the Governor's House on the mall. Let me take you to an ages-old gate, a symbol of power, in Lahore, which is recently becoming a popular sight among the tourists, but few know the history associated with it. This is Delhi Gate or Delhi Darwaza, one of the 13 gates of the ancient walled city of Lahore. The gate was named so because it faces the city of Delhi. It was built during the reign of Mughal Emperor Akbar in 1600s. Akbar had built 13 gates around the city connected with a 30 feet high fortified wall. This gate was the most important out of all the gates because the Mughals and royal used it while traveling from Delhi to Lahore Fort. This gate is huge among the 6 surviving gates of Lahore. It is a double-story building and almost 10 to 12 rooms serve as classrooms in the upper portion. The most interesting part of the building is the staircase leading to the rooftop of the gate. The stairs are built at an angle of 90 degrees, and it is difficult to climb them at a speed as one loses momentum. This was to protect the building from sudden attacks and reduce the attacker's speed, and it shows the cleverness and techniques of defense employed in those days. Going to the upper story, one can see the roof of the royal bath, Shahi Hammam, on the left side. The roof of the gate is even, which gives a spectacular view of the old city and Delhi Gate's vivacious bazaar. The colors of life are in the air if you ever reach its rooftop. The ground floor of the gate, which is the entrance into the Delhi Gate Bazaar, has 6 rooms which are now converted into tourism offices and crafts center. These rooms were used by the Chabdars in Mughal era, magistrate, and police in later eras. For some time after 1947, the rooms served as dispensaries and health centers for the local community. The solid brick foundations of Lahore Fort were laid in 1566 under the reign of Mughal Emperor Akbar the Great on the location of an earlier mud fort. To build the new fort, the emperor brought experienced artisans after the completion of Fatehpur Sikri Fort. Later, Shah Jahan converted the fort into a pleasure resort and added Diwan-i-Khas, Moti Masjid, Nalika Pavilion, sleeping chambers, and Sheesh Mahal into the complex. Sheesh Mahal is located within the Shah Burj, King's Pavilion, block that was built by his predecessor Jahangir. The chamber was exclusively used for private council meetings as part of the daily routine of the emperor, whereas the whole block was only accessible to the imperial princes, the vizier, and selected courtiers. The Sheesh Mahal was built by Emperor Shah Jahan. It was built in the middle of Jahangir's rule. The facade, consisting of 5 cusped marble arches supported by coupled columns, opens into the courtyard. The engrailed spandrels and bases are inlaid with precious stones. The pavilion is in the form of a semi-octagon, and consists of apartments roofed with gilded cupolas and intricately decorated with pietra dura and convex glass and mirror mosaic, Aina Kari, with thousands of small mirrors. At night they light candles. 8. The decorative features also include stucco tracery, munabat kari, and carved marble screens in geometrical and tendril designs. 9. The roof of the central hall rises up to 2 stories. The hall was originally decorated with fresco paintings that were later replaced with glass mosaic in different colors. The tower was built between 1960 and 1968 on the site where the All India Muslim League passed the Lahore Resolution, which was later called the Pakistan Resolution, on the 23rd of March 1940, the first official call for a separate and independent homeland for the Muslims of British India, as espoused by the two-nation theory. The resolution eventually helped lead to the creation of Pakistan in 1947. The tower reflects a blend of Mughal, Islamic and modern architecture. The tower was designed and supervised by Nasreddin Murad Khan, a Russian-born Pakistani architect and civil engineer. 5. The minaret provides a panoramic view to visitors who can access the top by climbing up the stairs or by means of an elevator. The tower base is shaped like a flower. The area surrounding the monument is covered with parks and flowers. The location is often used for political and religious events. It is also known as the Liberty Tower of Pakistan. The Lahore Museum's majestic red brick building stands on Shara-e-Quaid-e-Azam, previously known as the Mall Road. It opened its doors to the public in 1894 and was constructed in the Indo-Saracenic style of architecture, which is a blend of Mughal and British colonial architecture. The Lahore Museum's permanent collection houses approximately 60,000 artifacts of historical, cultural and artistic value. These objects represent Pakistan's ancient and contemporary heritage and is inclusive of Islamic, Buddhist, Sikh, Hindu, and Jain histories. Lahore Museum is actively engaged in community outreach through its exhibitions and public programming. To find out more about the museum's ongoing and latest activities, please visit our website regularly.